Hey everyone, this is Don Maguccione, back with more quick and accessible health and fitness tips, continuing the series on sitting is the new smoking. This week's topic is anxiety and depression. So we're going to talk a little bit about how sitting, basically the posture of sitting, can relate to these two topics. Not that it causes them, but we can talk about how there's a relationship between postures of sitting and potential outcomes related to anxiety and depression, and why that may be problematic and what we can do about it. So we'll start with anxiety. So a previous post was talking about the relationship between sitting and breathing, and how when you're in a seated posture, you're compressing your chest, your rib cage, and really not allowing your diaphragm to take a full deep breath. Even if you try to do a full deep belly breath when you're sitting, it becomes a little bit challenging. So as a reminder, you breathe into your belly rather than taking a shallow breath in your chest. And out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And if you try to do that while you're sitting, you can, but it becomes a little bit challenging. You feel a little bit of restriction. So if you can think of a moment where you've ever been anxious or afraid or startled, one of the traits related to that is taking very shallow, rapid breaths. So you're not taking a full, deep breath, and that can link and reinforce that pattern of being anxious, afraid, or startled. So you think about if you're anxious, if you're afraid, whatever's going on. So that's going to lead to you not getting the full breath, not being relaxed, not your body not getting enough oxygen, and perpetuating that cycle. So even if you're not immediately startled, anxious, or afraid, if you're sitting, it is more comfortable to take a shallow breath rather than a deep breath, just because of that compression that we talked about. So again, not sitting causes anxiety, but how sitting can predispose some of those factors which may simulate the feeling. So depression as well. Again, not to say that sitting causes depression and not that depression is something to be taken lightly, but if you think about a time, if you're having, even if it's not severe depression, if you're just having a bad day, if you're not feeling motivated, if it just feels like you're not quite clicking on all cylinders, if you're at the desk, if you're at work. So think about what are some characteristics of that. How do you hold yourself? How do you talk? What's the tone of your voice? Do you tend to slump a little bit and maybe lower your voice and just feel like things just aren't really working out today? It's not really my type of day. So part of the exercise you can do to show the contrast between standing and sitting is, if you're having these thoughts, do an inventory with yourself. What's the tone of your voice? What's the tone of your self-talk? What are you saying to yourself, and how do you sound? And then, as an experiment, stand up. So stand up, put your hands on your hips, push out your chest a little bit, and just think like, okay, why was I thinking about those kind of thoughts? Think to yourself, I've got this. I can do this. Take a deep breath. Just your hands in your belly to emphasize that nice belly breath, deep breath. Hands on your hips. Think, yeah, I've definitely got this. This is no problem. Why was I even thinking that way before? So again, not that that's, again, sitting, anxiety, depression, it's not correlation equals causation. One does not cause the other, but you can set yourself up to be in a position to be more impacted by the physiology of sitting if you were not being conscious of it and taking a break. So you'll see some more written information and links in the blog post related to sitting, anxiety, and depression, and how taking a break can help offset those negative impacts. I hope this has been helpful, and we'll see you next time.